Hi everyone, my name is Declan McGlynn. I'm by a former Point Blank student and very successful man in his own right, Jake Warren.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How's it going?
Really good, how are you?
Very well. So you studied with Point Blank a while ago. I mean, what have you been up to since? Do you want to just fill us in?
Sure, so it's been about 8 years, I calculated. And I've been on a kind of crazy journey, lots of ups and downs, writing a lot of music,
Yeah.
and just trying to basically get my head around it and figure out the key to making a living from doing what you love, basically.
Yeah, and you've worked with quite a lot of big brands, right?
Yeah, so the main thing I do is writing and producing music for brands, advertising campaigns, and I actually won my first commercial through Point Blank.
Oh, amazing.
So I credit this place with basically instilling in me the belief that it's possible to earn money from writing music, which
Yeah.
is crazy, but it is possible.
So what made you decide to come to Point Blank originally?
Um, I'm the kind of person, I think, that it was pre the era where there was a lot of high quality content on YouTube. So for me, it was like I felt like the only way I could really get the fundamental understanding was through one-on-one tutoring. So I was like the guy at the front that was asking a lot of questions, just really annoying the tutors and just pushing them like why on every kind of just compressor ratios and all these kind of things. I was just like, I needed to understand why they worked the way they worked. So being here and being one-on-one with such experienced tutors gave me the skills and the confidence to then use them in the real world.
Yeah, I guess how important do you think that one-on-one interaction is?
For me, it was everything. Like without it, I'd just be lost because there's so much information out there and there's so many different approaches you can take and so many people putting different value on different aspects of the creative process. So for me, it was about really understanding what I needed to be doing at the highest level to then actually be able to write and produce music to broadcast quality or whatever kind of quality that you're going for.
And you said you won an advertisement while you were at Point Blank.
Mhm.
What was that? That was for Swatch, right?
Yeah, so that was a Swatch commercial. So the brief came out to all the students, and it was a written brief, so it's like a paragraph, and it was saying we want it to be like this and Christmassy and this kind of thing. And it was the first time I written to brief, and it was 30 seconds, and I got to work, and it felt good. It felt like it was on brief, whatever that meant at the time. And I sent it off, and they were like, yeah, we're happy with it. And we did a few tweaks at the studio, and then it went on air, and it went around Europe on TV. And I kind of sat at my friend's house and watched it and heard my music through the speakers, and I was like, it was a very surreal feeling. So that really just instilled in me, okay, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, amazing. I guess in that world, time is money more than any other industry. I mean, you got to turn things on really quickly. I mean, what's your advice for someone who wants to get into that industry?
Yeah, so if you don't like having a 9 to 5, it's a good start because it's 24 hours, especially when you start getting global clients and the time zones are off by 8 hours and 5 hours and there's edits. You've got to be available all around the clock. And 24-hour deadlines are pretty common. So it's like you just got to be ready to say yes to everything.
Yeah. I remember I read on your website that your McDonald's sign was actually on TV in America 48 hours after you submitted it.
Yeah, it was about 48 hours. We had to like record the vocal, produce it, mix it, and send it off. And it's just straight on air. So there's no messing around. They know what they want, and you've just got to deliver it.
And what's the biggest thing you've learned since you left Point Blank?
To focus on your strengths and delegate your weaknesses.
Good advice. Speaking of advice, you're going to be speaking to our students in a couple of minutes, actually. What kind of thing are you going to be instilling in them, given that you're a former Point Blank student?
Yeah, so my kind of philosophy on this whole thing is basically how much music skills play a part in it versus the psychology of life and business and how you basically have to balance the two to get from where you are to where you want to be using the skills you've learned, but then knowing how to actually use them and have them work in your favor and kind of cut through the other 99% of people that are also trying to get to where you want to get to.